Hey friends, it is Tuesday, April the 28th, and we are ready to do language and math together again today. All right, today you should have this page that looks like this. It says reading comprehension at the top. All right, let's read the directions together. Read the short story, follow directions, and answer the questions using complete sentences. Okay, so you're just going to read this on your own, and then at the bottom they're asking you to fill in the questions with the correct answer. All right, so the first question says, I'm going to go through all the questions with you, and then you're going to go back and read the text on your own and go back and answer the questions for me, okay? And remember, why do we read the questions first? It opens all those little file folders in our brain that makes up to like, oh, I know about squirrels, and your brain's already thinking about squirrels and what you know about squirrels, and it helps you to better understand what it is that you're about to read. So question number 1 says, the passage is missing quotation marks. Fill in the missing quotation marks, okay? This is gonna be a little tricky because this is something we've only done a little bit in writing. Okay, you will remember that we talked about quotation marks are when somebody is speaking directly. Okay, and quotation marks look like this. Okay, quotation marks look like these little commas that are in the air together around the words that are said. So this might be a little tricky, so definitely ask mom and dad for help if you're not sure where they should go. But we're looking for exactly when someone is speaking. So we're looking for what they directly said, and it looks like little hugs in the air that are gonna go around what was said. All right, let's see. Number 2, what was Busy Squirrel doing? Number 3, what does it mean that the squirrel was hoarding nuts and acorns? This is where we're gonna look for that word hoarding in our text, and we're gonna look at the words before it and after it and find the context, how it was used in the sentence to help us understand what does that word hoarding mean? Then number 4, what did lazy squirrel think busy squirrel should do? Number 5 says highlight the adjectives green, highlight the verbs orange. So let's go back and talk about adjectives and verbs. First, let's talk about adjectives. Remember, an adjective is a word that describes a noun. So I could say something is great, it is small, it's pretty, it's white, or it's black. I could talk about the color of it, the size of it, how it feels, bumpy, soft, stringy, whatever it feels like. So I could talk about a lot of things. I'm describing the noun. So we're gonna look for those, and we're gonna highlight those green. Find those and highlight them green. Then verbs, remember, are words that show action. Good. Like jump, swim, twirl, talk, sing, laugh, run. Good. All those words that show action. We're going to shade those orange. So we're going to look for words that are describing words first and then action verbs next, okay? And then the last thing that we're going to do on this page is a Venn diagram. We compared and contrasted so much in writing this year, so I know you guys are going to be amazing at this. But remember, when we compare and contrast, the things that are in the Venn diagram are going to be about those two things separate, and then the part where the circles intertwine. So like one circle is going to be just for busy squirrel. This part of the circle will be just for lazy squirrel. And this little part that overlaps, we're going to tell what are things that they have in common. What's something that they have that is alike? I'm just looking for one thing from each. If you can find more, that'd be great. But I'm just looking for one thing that you can tell me about busy squirrel, one thing you can tell me about lazy squirrel, and one thing that you can tell me about both of them. Okay? All right. And then number 7 at the very bottom, it says write an ending to the story on the back of this paper what happened next, okay? The back of this paper has math, so you're not gonna be able to use the back of this paper, so I'm gonna ask that you get a piece of notebook paper, and I want you to write just 5 good sentences to me, telling me what happened next. This can be anything you think of, anything you can think of. 3 to 5 sentences, 5 might be pushing a little bit, but 3 to 5 would be perfect to tell me what happens next in the story. Okay, I can't wait to read it and see what you came up with. All right, go ahead and pause this video so you can work on all of this good reading and language arts. And then we're gonna come back together for math. All right, your math page should look like this. Column addition with regrouping. Okay, make sure you have a pencil and any color you want to use. Okay, doesn't matter. The color you choose can be green, can be blue. Doesn't matter to me. The color you pick just needs to be a color. All right, the directions ask us to solve the problems and then color a frog that matches the sum. What is a sum? The answer when we add. Good. Anybody remember what do we call when we subtract? What's the answer when we subtract called? The difference. Good. The difference. So we have a sum when we add and the difference when we subtract. All right. Today we're practicing with column, meaning that we have 3 add-ins, 3 numbers we're adding up together. Can we add 3 numbers at the same time? Sure we can. We're just going to take them one chunk at a time. We just add 2 numbers and then add on to that total. And we can keep going. Remember I said once you've mastered adding 2 numbers together, you can add as many numbers as you want together. We follow the same process and we just go over and over and over. All right, let's get ready to do number 1 together now. All right. So one more time, if you're somebody, and I know there's friends out there who need to do this, draw a number line if you don't already have one saved for you. Make sure you have that ready to go. Also, make sure that you have scrap paper that you can use if this paper isn't enough for you. This should be today enough for you if you have your number line close by, but anytime you feel like you need extra paper to draw a picture or whatever it is you need to be able to get the right answer, I want you to do that. You have lots of strategies in your pocket and I want you to pull them all out right now so that we're doing our very best to be ready for 3rd grade. All right, so let's look at the first one together. We have 15, 33, and 27. Okay. This is just like every problem we've ever solved here in 2nd grade, 1st grade, even kindergarten. We always start with the ones. That's right, we start with the ones. So we can add any way that is best for us. We can group together these 2 numbers and add this number. We can group together these 2 numbers and add this number. Whatever we choose will work best for us. I'm just going to tell you how my brain thinks about it and the way that I do it fastest in my head mentally. But remember, if you can't do it mentally, get out that number line and get to adding for me, okay? So when I see 7 plus 3, I know that's a quick make 10. 7 plus 3 is 10. So I already know that's a 10 in my brain. And then I add 5 more, so I know my answer is 15. Okay? It could have been a couple of different ways, but that's just the fast way that my brain sees that. Okay? Remember, those make 10s are really important to us. Those doubles are really important to us when we're adding. The more we can do our math in our head, the better off we're going to be. We have bigger things that we have to get ready for in 3rd grade. So we don't need to hold up our space trying to count on our fingers or use our number line so much. We really want to get to a point where we find some strategies we can use in our head. So I use 3 plus 7, I know is 10, plus 5 more is 15. I can't write 15 here, because there's only a space for the ones. The 10s must be regrouped. Must be regrouped. Do that now. When we regroup, we have 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. And 5 plus 2 is 7. Very good. So our answer is 75. Go ahead and write that down. Okay, you can either color your frog now, or you can wait and come back and color them at the end. If you do it now, it will probably help you when you're starting to get closer to the end to be able to differentiate who's been used or not. So you're just gonna look through your frogs, find the one that has the answer 75, and color that frog in. Remember, color doesn't matter to me. It's just mostly about being able to correct yourself or self-correct if you don't know what an answer is. So for instance, if I get an answer that is not on a frog, I know I have not added correctly. So I need to go back and check my work. There's nothing wrong with the worksheet. I need to go back and look at my work again. Okay? All right, you're gonna do the same thing for numbers 2 all the way through 12 on your own. Make sure that you are using all your strategies that you have. Make sure that you are regrouping every time. And also make sure that you're writing as neatly as possible for me. I really appreciate you doing that for me. All right, when you're finished with this, you also have spelling to study today, as well as reading to read and answer questions for me. Thank you for working so hard for me, and I will see you tomorrow.